So recently, I've been thinking about the power behind taking steps. Not huge steps, but just baby steps. And sometimes it's actually the most scariest step to take. The first step. But at the same time, it's able to unlock a whole world of opportunity that we have never imagined or dreamed of. However, the worst situation that we ourselves find ourselves in, at least for me, is the notion or the perspective of defeat even before starting, or even before taking that first step. And since our brain is so powerful and excellent at creating stuff out of nothing, it then gets to create this sort of mirage. A mirage that gives us this 1,000 reasons why we cannot do something, we cannot achieve something, we cannot take that first step. And don't get me wrong, this happens because of other external factors like fear, anxiety, comparison, and fear of what people might say, and all those stuff in between. And yeah, I get that. But what if there's just more thought or perspective to look at all this situation going on? So let me just give you a bit of context here. So before I started this YouTube channel, I had a billion reasons why this was such a bad idea, why this was not gonna work, while this was just pretty much a bad idea. And some came from this perspective of fear, anxiety, what people say, and all those things. And you know what? That is kind of true in some sense. But at the same time, not taking the first step is even more scary than what people are gonna say. But then I made the decision to take the first step. All that matters is that first step. And now I'm here. And now what just started as a joke is pretty much what I'm doing right now. And this is my 4th video on this channel, and crazy, just a first step. And this applies to all areas of life. It applies to everything you can think of, from relationship to your education, to the new career you want to have. It applies to everything in your life. Taking that first step, regardless of whatever you're feeling right now. I think I would like to call this the law of the first step. I don't know if that exists or whatever, but I just think it's just the perfect way to say it. The law of the first step. The law of the first step states that you should take the first step, according to me, if that makes sense. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll check Google later for that. There's just so much power in the first step because it creates momentum, that creates more action, and a whole bunch of action. And before you know it, that task is done. That project is finished. Because the truth is this: without the first step, there is no momentum. And without momentum, you get stuck. You get stuck, and what happens? You're frustrated. There's this popular saying, or this proverb, I think it's a Chinese proverb, that says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. And that is true, of course. But in fact, the journey of a 10-mile begins as well with one step. Even the journey of a 2-mile begins also with one step. And that means it doesn't matter how long the journey is or how short the journey is, you still need to take that one step. The power of the first step is just so important. So just remember this, that in everything you're doing or whatsoever, just begin, or just take the first step, or take the first step by faith, whatever one applies to you. And you'll be surprised to see what is at the end or at the other side of taking the first step. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you just joined in for the first time, thank you so much. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And see you guys in the next one.